Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Smile and Talk. I'm Mark.
And I'm Maria. Thanks for joining us again. Today's topic is one that almost everyone can relate to. We're going to talk about your boss. But before we start, please help subscribe our channel. It helps us so much.
Oh yes, whether you love your boss, fear your boss, or just tolerate your boss, we've all got stories.
Exactly. Some bosses inspire us, others, well, they teach us patience.
That's a nice way to put it. But seriously, this is going to be a fun and honest conversation about what it's like working with different kinds of bosses. Good ones, bad ones, and everything in between.
So, Mark, do you remember your first boss ever?
Oh yeah, I'll never forget him. His name was Steve. I was working at a little coffee shop when I was about 19. He was one of those managers who did everything by the book. Super strict, always watching.
Oh no, sounds intense already.
Yeah, but the funny thing is, I learned a lot from him. He was tough, but he cared about quality. If a customer's coffee wasn't perfect, he'd make us start again.
That sounds like the kind of boss who's hard to work for, but great to learn from.
Exactly. At the time, I found him annoying, but later I realized he taught me about responsibility. What about you? Who was your first boss?
My first boss was actually really nice. Her name was Laura, and she managed a small clothing store where I worked part-time during college. She was calm, patient, and always smiling.
Oh, so you got lucky.
I did. She trusted her employees, and she made everyone feel like part of a team. That made me want to work harder.
That's powerful. When your boss trusts you, you naturally want to do your best.
Exactly. She was the kind of person who led by example. She never shouted, but we all respected her.
So let's talk about good bosses versus bad bosses. What do you think makes a good boss?
I'd say a good boss listens, respects their employees, and gives clear communication. You know, someone who leads with the team, not above it.
I agree. I think the best bosses know how to balance authority and empathy.
Right. Some bosses just focus on being in control, and they forget their employees are human.
Oh, I've had that kind of boss too. Once I had a manager who thought yelling was a way to motivate people.
Oh, did it work?
Nope, everyone just started avoiding him. He thought fear meant respect.
That's so common. Some bosses confuse the two. They think if you're afraid of them, it means they're doing a good job.
Exactly, but in reality, fear kills creativity and teamwork.
100%. People perform best when they feel safe and valued.
And I think being approachable is key. A good boss is someone you can talk to, not someone you hide from.
Yes, and they give feedback in a kind, constructive way, not just criticize.
On the other hand, what's the worst type of boss you've ever had?
Oh, that's easy. I once worked under a boss who was completely unpredictable. One day she'd be cheerful and kind. The next day she'd be angry at everyone.
That sounds exhausting.
It was. The whole office would get nervous every morning, wondering what her mood would be.
That kind of emotional roller coaster destroys the work atmosphere.
Exactly. I learned that emotional stability is such an underrated quality in a leader.
That's so true. I once had a boss who micromanaged everything. Like, if I sent an email, he would rewrite it before it went out.
That's painful.
Yeah, he didn't trust us to do anything on our own. It made me lose confidence.
That's a big problem. The best bosses make you feel capable, not helpless.
Okay, we've got to lighten the mood. Let's talk about funny boss stories. I'm sure you have one.
I do. So once my boss was giving this super serious presentation to our clients, he was all confident until he accidentally clicked on a meme instead of the next slide.
No way! What was the meme?
It was a cat meme, one of those hang in there ones. The whole room burst out laughing.
That's amazing. How did he react?
He actually laughed too and said, "Well, that's my motivational message for the day. It broke the tension."
That's great. Shows he had a sense of humor.
Exactly. It made everyone like him more.
I've got one too. So, my boss once sent an email to the entire company instead of just one person, complaining about the printer not working.
Oh no!
Yeah, it was like, this stupid printer is ruining my day. And everyone got it, even the CEO.
That's classic. What happened next?
The IT guy printed that email and taped it to the printer. It became an office joke.
Oh, that's the kind of thing you never live down.
Do you think humor makes a good boss?
Absolutely. A boss who can laugh with the team makes work so much better.
Yeah, laughter brings people together. It shows that even leaders are human.
Bosses can be really different depending on the country or culture.
True. In some places, bosses are super formal, while in others, they're more casual and friendly.
Right. For example, when I worked in Spain, my boss was very relaxed. We even went for coffee breaks every day.
Oh, nice. So it was a very social environment.
Exactly. But when I worked in Germany later, the culture was much more formal, less small talk, more focus on structure and time.
Yeah, I've noticed that too. I worked in Japan for a bit, and bosses there are very respectful, but expect complete dedication. Long hours, no excuses.
Wow, that must have been intense.
It was, but I admired their commitment.
I think every culture has its own rhythm of communication between bosses and employees.
Totally. Some cultures value hierarchy, like you don't question your boss, while others encourage open discussion.
That's so true. I think in modern workplaces, people appreciate when a boss listens and invites ideas.
Yes, collaboration over control. That's the future of leadership.
Here's an interesting question. Have you ever been someone's boss, Mark?
Yeah, actually, for a short time, I led a small marketing team.
Ooh, tell me about that. What was it like?
Honestly, harder than I thought. I realized being a boss isn't just about giving orders, it's about supporting people.
Exactly. You have to balance authority and empathy.
Right, and I made mistakes too. At first, I wanted to do everything myself because I thought I could do it faster, but that's not leadership.
That's a common mistake. Delegating is a skill.
Totally. When I started trusting my team, things got smoother and everyone felt more responsible.
That's a great point. When people feel ownership, they do better work.
How about you? Have you ever been a manager or a team leader?
Yes, I led a small group of designers for a few months. It was fun, but stressful. I learned how important communication is.
Communication really is everything.
Exactly. When people don't know what's expected of them, problems appear fast.
That's so true. Being a boss makes you realize how much your behavior affects others.
Yes, and how important it is to give feedback, both positive and constructive.
So, after all these stories, what would you say is the biggest lesson you've learned about bosses?
I'd say that the best bosses are the ones that bring out the best in people. They make you want to grow.
I like that. For me, it's that every boss, even the bad ones, teaches you something.
Exactly. Sometimes you learn how to lead, and sometimes you learn how not to lead.
Right. But both lessons are valuable.
I also think it's important for employees to remember bosses are human too. They have good days and bad days.
That's true. Sometimes we expect them to be perfect, but they're figuring things out just like we are.
Yes, and when you see it that way, it's easier to work together.
Well said. So, whether you have a great boss or a difficult one, there's always a way to learn, grow, and stay professional.
Exactly. And who knows? One day, you might become the kind of boss you always wished for.
I like that. What a great note to end on.
Me too.
Thanks for listening, everyone.
Keep practicing English, keep learning from every experience, even your boss, and we'll see you next time.
Take care, everyone.